the origins of original sin, and the prophecies of apocalyptic heat waves that we see is coming down on the peoples today. And this is necessary because, when we look into these so-called holy books, when we look into these so-called holy books, uh, it's a lot of esoterical hidden information, parables, allegories, that alludes to a truth under the surface level information. Okay? The surface level information. Now, in the Bible, matter of fact, which one is that? Hold on, family. Let me get my book, my notes. Where are my notes at? Where my notes at? I got to get the one. Where my notes at? Where my notes at? Which one? Yeah, which one? Wait a minute. Is that it? Okay. That's all right. That's all right. I don't need that right now. I don't need that right now. When you go into the Bible, and I believe one of the verses is Psalms. Psalms, I believe it was 84, if I'm not mistaken, where it talks about the Lord God is a sun and a shield. I'm just getting started now. For the Lord God is a sun and a shield. Now, for a lot of people, and I'm talking to my FBA family out there today. I know you're out there, and you may very well be a Bible thumper. You might be one of them, you gun-ho Christian, even for the Muslim out there, into the Bible. And knowing that the Hebrew, the Christian, it really wasn't even no Christianity until much, much later. So really Christianity, even though it come out of Egypt, you see what I'm saying? Christianity, as what you know of it today, is really a very recent religion, okay? Because it come with the Bible, and they didn't have the printing press into the 1400s. So a lot of people can't fathom that. But anyway, also in Malachi, the book of Malachi, it talks about the sun and healing in its wings. You see, the sun and healing in its wings. And when you go into Egypt, you will see the winged sun disk over every temple door. You see? So once you understand the esoterical understanding that God is the S-U-N, okay? And then you have anthropomorphic deities. It's the sun, it's the S-U, but it has an anthropomorphic equivalent, meaning that Jesus is the S-U-N. But it's given an anthropomorphic story so that people can relate. You see what I'm saying? The resurrection of Jesus is the resurrection of the S-U-N. That's exactly what it is. The first resurrection is the rising and the setting of the sun and the rising the next day. That's resurrection. The sun has resurrected. It died at the setting of the sun, then it rose the next day. You see? It rose the next day. That's resurrection. That's why when you look in the back of any divine entity, it don't matter what religion it is, if you look behind any divine entity, you will see the halo. Okay? Really, that's the God. That's the God. You see? That's the God. That's why every time you look in any type of religious artistry, paintings and images of God, and you see the rays of the sun coming through the clouds. It's the sun. For the Lord God is a sun and a shield. Matter of fact, let me get that for you. For the Lord God is a sun and a shield. Let me see if it came up. Matter of fact, let me just go. Let me go. I'm going to get it for you. Okay. Here you go. For the Lord God is a sun and a shield. You can praise whoever you want. It ain't going to change the fact. You can praise whoever you want. It ain't going to change the fact. That's Psalms 84:11. That's Psalms 84, verse 11. For the Lord God is a sun and a shield. This is out of the Bible. The Lord will give grace and glory. No good thing will he withhold from them that walk uprightly. Let me say that to you again for the clergy out there. This is Psalm 84:11. For the Lord God, that why again, when you look behind Jesus, you look behind any of the prophets, you see the halo. The halo is the sun. Okay? I want you to understand, because I'm gonna go somewhere when I start dealing with this heat wave. You see? When I start dealing with this, because it also said, matter of fact, let me go on in there. Let me get it. Let me get this in here. The Lord God is a sun with healing in his wings. Let me put that in there. That's Malachi. That's Malachi 4. That's Malachi 4, verse 2. Let me get to a whole. Malachi 4, verse 2. I'm going to go somewhere. Just hold on. Because we're talking about what the Bible said right there. Malachi, for all my good Christians, because we're going straight. I don't care what you believe. It's based on the Bible. You can believe whatever you want to believe. Malachi 4, verse 2. Now, this is very critical. See, because in Malachi chapter 4, verse 2, listen, but unto you that fear my name shall the sun, S-U-N, of righteousness, wait a minute, let me get to, of righteousness arise with healing in his wings. Okay, with healing in his wings, ye shall go forth and grow up as calves of the stall. Now, what's very significant about this verse, Malachi 4, verse 2, that sun, listen, go look it up yourself, is spelled with a capital S. And you only capitalize something if it's a person, a place, or a thing. And so here, the sun, but unto you that fear my name shall the sun And in this instance, the Son is the person of God. Healing with right, the Son of righteousness shall arise with healing in his wings. And that's the winged sun disk that you see over the Egyptian doorway. When you go look it up, they call it the Badeti. The Badeti. Just look it up. You could just say it in your phone, the Badeti, winged sun disk, and you will see the winged sun disk above the Egyptian doorway. This is for all you niggas out there that may be FBA, that wear the cross, that's into the Bible. You want to diss Africa, but in essence, that just show you don't know shit about the Bible. You confused. So I'm trying to wake you up. But at the same time, I'm showing y'all that the ancients knew the astronomical cycle of the solar revolution. You see, not the earthly revolution, but the solar revolution. That means the earth is moving around the sun, which takes 365 days, but the sun is also moving on its revolution. It's ecliptic. You see what I'm saying? Which is over 24,000 something years. You see what I'm saying? And so understanding that they knew of certain ice ages, they knew of certain heat waves that would come, and they had already documented that, and so our peoples had already told these Neanderthals that their day was coming. They told them that. And they knew it was coming. They knew it was coming because they had seen evidence of it. They knew it was coming because when you start dealing with Ragnarok, you feel me? And that's comedic. For anybody that don't believe it, I can break it down for you right here in front of your face. That's a comedic story, Ragnarok, which is the Viking, what they call the twilight of the gods. That means that the god Asgard, if you watch Marvel comics, and matter of fact, they had it. It did get destroyed. They had Ragnarok, but Asgard, where the Viking gods, Odin, Loki, Heimdall, Thor, Frigga, Tyr, all those guys was destroyed when a fire demon, it was a prophecy that a fire demon by the name of Surtur would come. It was already prophesied, bring the children of Loki, and everybody know Loki and Marvel. His daughter was Hela, the goddess of hell, the Midgard serpent, which was a serpent so big it circled the whole planet. What's the other? The wolf, I believe his name was Frenier or something. It was a giant wolf, and the gods met up with each one of these apocalyptic monsters. Okay, and Thor, which you can see in the etymology of Thor, is Hor, which is Horus. Okay, even in Hercules, Hera, Horus, Heru, that's what that is. So when you see, and if you can look it up, you will see first it was Set, the god Set. And when Ra sets, because Ra is the sun. And when Ra set in the mythology, it says that he's sailing on the celestial Nile. And that the serpent Apep would try to eat Ra. And you will see Set, and then after Set, you will see Horus in the front of the Ark of Ra. It's a boat. You'll see Ra sailing on this boat, and you see the giant serpent trying to come up and eat Ra. But you will see Horus and Set in the front of the boat with a spear, attacking Apep. Defenders of Ra. They say defenders of Ra. Now, in the Ragnarok story, Thor, which is Horus or Hor, fought who? The Midgard serpent. Okay, the same story. He's fighting the Midgard serpent. And you will see, but they end up destroying one another. They end up destroying one another. Thor ends up killing the Midgard serpent, but the serpent either bit him and left some of that venom in his ass, and he ends up dying. So showing you that even the Viking mythology is out of Egypt. There's no getting around that. Why am I? Because I'm showing you this apocalyptic solar heat wave that's on us now, today, that have been prophesied, thousands of years ago. Just like the earth will go into an ice age. The laws of opposites will say if it's a possibility of an ice age, it's a possibility of an age of heat. You see what I'm saying? Where it's going to be hot as fuck on the planet, depending on if you've been around the great year, the solar year of 24,000 years, that one complete, where the Africans is the only motherfuckers that ever been on the planet long enough to have been around. If they say they give Africans, a million years, they tell you that you might have been a real, what they say, we don't believe that. But even in that, they say man has been in Africa damn near 300,000 years. And if it takes 25,000 years to make a complete revolution, you see, and you got to be knowledgeable when you make the revolution. You can't be ignorant half of it. So 25,000 years, nobody else on the planet can document that they had the type of knowledge to accumulate and record the great year. You understand? From the and you have to do it at least 2 or 3 times to document that you did it. You know what I'm saying? To make sure that it's factual. The very first time, that you do it, you might start halfway in the fucking middle of the revolution. So you still got to come around again, documenting. You understand what I'm saying? What is happening on the great year. And so you're talking about at least 75,000 years if you did it 3 times to prove, okay, you did it the first time. You record ice age, you record heat wave, you record a desert, you record where the Sahara was a fucking tropical area. You understand? You have to go around 25,000 years to document. And then if you do it twice and you see it's happening at the same time, you see what I'm saying? You're documenting that, and you have to go around 3 times to say, oh, it's right and exact. It's happening at the same time. That would 3 times will give you a pattern. You see what I'm saying? It'll give you a fucking pattern. That's why when people look at the Dogon, I'm dropping science for you niggas that you can't get no other way, no place else. That's why the Dogon, which that science come out of ancient Egypt, was able to see Sirius B. People, which the European wasn't able to see Sirius B because it sits behind Sirius A, and Sirius A is so bright that you can barely see it, even with a goddamn telescope. But the Europeans wasn't able to see Sirius B until they had the telescope, where the Dogon had knowledge and the Africans had knowledge in Egypt of Sirius B thousands of years ago. How did they know Sirius B was behind Sirius A? Because they went around the whole of the solar 24,000 year cycle. Now, if you say, for instance, at 12,000 years, and we right in front of Sirius A, if you keep going around the elliptical, where Sirius A is in the front, when you go directly 12,000 years from where you at today, if you go 12,000 years on the, when you get on that side of the elliptical, Sirius B will be in the front and Sirius A would be in the back. So Sirius B would be visible to the eye. You see, it would be visible. They don't want to give credit that our people been on this fucking planet for fucking hundreds of thousands, millions of fucking years, not just as no hunter and gatherer, but as scientists. That's how they knew Sirius B, because they had went all the way around the solar elliptical. That's how they knew it. Okay? And so what we talking about today, you know, and Ragnarok and all of that, they know the prophecies. They know the prophecies. And so when they talk about original sin, see, once you understand that God is the Son, the S-U-N, okay, it says that the Lord God is a sun and a shield. The shield is melanin. You see, that's melanin. That's the God elixir. You see, and so when it talks about the albinos that were put out of Eden, they were never in Eden. They came into Eden, but it's showing and proving that because they did not have melanin, you know, that don't mean they can't come in. But what happens is they start to burn. That's the reality of it. They begin to burn. They don't have the shield. Y'all got to wake up. This is esoterical. Jesus taught in parables. You see what I'm saying? Even his disciples say, why do you teach to the people in parables? The Bible is esoterical, just like most of them is esoterical. It's a secret order. They don't teach to, you know, mundane niggas. You know what I'm saying? Because they know, say you don't cast the pearl or to the swine. That's what Jesus said. He said you don't cast the pearls, and pearls is wisdom, gems, jewels, where they refer to knowledge as pearls and treasure, you know, and things of that. You don't cast the pearl. So they speak in parable, and if you have a certain level spiritually and of divinity, you would be able to see through with what, you know, the parable is trying to say and get to the true information. So original sin is the act of not having melanin. That's what it is. The act of it, you can see right now today, they just had it. They saying skin cancer is escalating across not only the heat wave, and they not telling y'all, man, just a week ago, they had already stated over 20,000 people have, that's what they counted, have died from the heat wave. But it's been so many deaths that they have to wait until after the death. It's so many deaths. And the last heat wave that hit Europe, once they really counted how many people actually died from the heat wave, it was astronomically larger than the numbers that they putting out there. So if they saying right now, that was a week ago, it's 20,000, it very well could be 50,000. It could be double or triple what they're presenting right now. And that the skin cancer is, you know, is escalating. It's escalating. So they know that these times was coming long time ago. And the prophecies are coming true, family. The prophecies is coming true. And the Ragnarok story is their story. So I don't want y'all motherfuckers say, oh, motherfucker, that's their story. Even the rapture. Once y'all understand that Jesus is coming back, but Jesus is the S-U-N. God is a son. The cross that Jesus, the white Jesus you see up there and you see him is a solar cross. Boy, it's a solar cross. It's a solar cross. See? Anyway, family, click that link. Y'all go and meditate on that. I know that's heavy mental. Go and meditate on that. I'll be back in a minute. Hit that Patreon. Get over to Patreon. Support the General. Got nothing but 2 raw for you too. Generalseti One Stop. Get over there. Get you some DVDs. I'll see y'all in a minute. We say, for God so loved the world, he gave his only begotten son. Believe in him shall not perish, but he. Yeah, that one too. That one too. Gave his only begotten S-U-N. So whoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting. Yeah, I got a new channel. Yeah, they've been up there. I'll just start putting information on them. All you have to do is go down in the bottom of any of the channels, and you will see all the channels at the bottom. And so you go subscribe to all of them, because I'm going to start dropping unique, you're going to see some of the same, but you're going to see a lot of unique on each channel. So make sure you subscribe to all my channels. I'll see y'all in a minute. Black Pop.